That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, that'll pay some bills. Mm-hmm. I'm not World Series.
Tell me when you're going.
No, I'm here.
The World Series of Goat Poo.
This is my
Should be live there.
at the crap house.
1 second.
And where are we broadcasting from? Shake, can you remind everyone?
The John B. Spigot Memorial Media Bundle.
Yeah, fantastic. John Spigot, we hardly knew you. Former Goat alumni, actually, if you didn't know that.
And we are live for the first ever Goat Poo Bingo from the Lloyd X, and a massive shout out to Vadir Imaging and Maz Entertainment. And now your hosts of Goat Poo Bingo, Donnie Blankenship and Shane Romano. My name is Evan LaDouche. I'll be here all day.
Mr. LaDouche, thank you very much for that great introduction. I'm Shane Romano.
I am Donnie Blankenship. Thank you, Shane.
Couldn't be happier than to be here right now today. A long, esteemed broadcasting career for myself in the junior hockey ranks has brought me now to the pinnacle,
Apex.
the apex, and the John B. Spigot Memorial Media Gondola, high above the stage of the Crap Palace here at the Lloydminster Exhibition.
Yeah, and it's important to note John B. Spigot, former Goat news member,
The newsman,
and he will be in our hearts today for sure.
for sure, heavy heart.
John B. So here's the thing, Shane. We're bringing in 3 goats.
Yeah.
Is there
And they're going to
like
parade around
this
this ring, as you see it.
As I see it,
And
number
we're going to
You just
you're
cut
gonna wait
Mhm.
to watch them make.
Oh, maybe I hit
Right?
What did you say?
Yeah.
Make.
Oh, I thought you said mates.
No, well, no, they're all girls. So we're not worried about that as much as we are.
Gotcha.
When will they evacuate? It's really the question on everyone's mind. With all COVID shutting everything down, I feel like this is the largest pay-per-view sporting event in the Midwest.
Can I stop you guys for a second? I believe that's accurate.
Sure.
I'm also not sure if you guys know that there's an element of danger here today.
Yeah.
Always when you involve live animals.
Right. And that being said, I've heard that the Canadian military actually trains with goats to test explosives because that is how unpredictable the rectum of that animal is.
Amazing. That's a very good fact. Way to drop that in there.
Are they blowing up the goats?
No. I mean, the back end is blowing up. Which
Oh.
we're hoping to see
Yeah.
on the grid.
Yeah, we sure are.
Right. So I just wanted to let you guys know that there is an element of danger here for people watching at home. That this isn't some.
Well, and
Walking apart.
nobody is in more of a dangerous position than you right now, Evan. You're in the blast zone.
Yeah, you're in the eye of the hurricane.
You are front row center at a Gallagher show right now,
Yeah, it's thank
and
you.
it's not a watermelon spraying on you.
No, I am very nervous. I wore all black, so you couldn't see, but my pants are very wet right now.
Yeah.
So
The pee.
I just want you to know that I'm in here for you. So whenever you want, and I do believe we just got word that the goats are actually getting going here. The wrangling is on.
Wow.
We are very close from the goats to entering the pen.
That's
Done.
amazing.
These are 3 champion goats,
Champions.
siblings,
Yeah, they're all
I believe.
sisters, I believe. Yeah.
all sisters.
So the good thing there is they won't be uncomfortable around each other when they have to
Yeah.
go. When it happens, it happens.
This is a trio of goats that has pooped together before.
Yeah, this is not the first time. The first time maybe with an audience,
Perhaps.
but I feel like they're just going to let nature
And
take over.
the thing to note is they trained for this.
Oh, for sure.
Their entire lives. These 3 sister goats, as we'll call them, have been building to this moment for years, generations, perhaps, each with the motivation to do this in memory of their father,
For sure.
who they never met or did not get to know well, while still suckling young lambs. These goats, they lost their father to a Jamaican stew.
Interesting. Yeah, everyone has a bad story, and here we are. They've reached the height, the pinnacle.
Shane, Donnie, why are we here? I mean, huge community event, all about crap, but there's some big implications here today.
You mean other than the crap? Yeah.
Yes.
So this is in support of the Goat's Christmas Wish, which is a charity near and dear to my heart. We try
Amazing
to,
cause.
yeah, we try to help as many families as we can in our area, and we've had 25 local businesses step up for charity with the chance to win an advertising campaign. But that's not what it's about, Shane, is it?
No, it's about the families. It's about what the Goat Christmas Wish continues to do year in and year out. Every year, thousands of people in the border city region clamor around their radios every morning for a week to find out, to hear some stories, to see some lives get changed.
Yeah, and I will say I have closed the door of my office every year. 18 years of the goat, I've seen every incantation of the wish. When the music starts playing, it doesn't really even matter what they start saying. It's a tear fest, and I'm not afraid to admit that I cry. I do.
I weep like a infant on Christmas morning when they did not get their bite.
Right, and I think it's good. It's therapeutic to cry here and there. And,
It's important.
What better cause, really?
The other thing, too, gentlemen, I just want to point out that COVID year, obviously things are tough for everybody, but 25 local businesses jumped on board, and each spot a square that you can see here today on the live stream. And one of those squares represents 25 local businesses, which is pretty flippin' amazing if you think about that for Boyden area. I love that.
Certainly not easy times for individuals, not easy times for businesses right now, and for all these companies to step up, and not talking about major corporations either. These are primarily local-owned hometown businesses here that have stepped up, and I mean, for them, it's, there's a potential reward, but it's more about the gift that they get.
Right to our shame. And it's also important to note that I don't think any one of these businesses did this with the intention of winning the prize. We have been very lucky in this community to have such a good support system for our local businesses. Everyone has stepped up. Everyone really wants to get involved. And at the GOAT, we have found likely the most ridiculous way to gift the wish, but I wouldn't have it any other way, if I'm being honest.
Right, and just to jump in, I gotta say a huge shout out to Malcolm and the entire team at the LRHF Lloydminster Hospital Foundation for their help in the 50-50, which at the end of this event, somebody's going to walk away with a big chunk of cash. And Cody, Maz Entertainment, Jason Whiting from Vidir Images, without those gentlemen in the back right now making this happen, we wouldn't see your beautiful faces up there. So I just want to make sure that we give some love.
Yeah.
Or those two faces.
Here's the thing, we need them off camera because they are all so stoic and handsome, majestic. And we need to not
It would distract away from the important function that we have here.
Right.
To transition from goat poop on a square to Donnie and myself, that's simple.
Yeah, it's an easy way.
Any one of those three guys goat poop back and forth, you'll lose it.
Yeah, like every time I see Jason Whiting, it's like the first time I heard the Beatles. It's just beautiful.
There's music all the time.
Yeah.
What band would be associated with Maz then?
Well, so Maz is
Or Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah. I like Big Butts. Oh, great.
100%.
Put him on the glass.
I don't know, but like his expertise in this is outstanding. I've never seen an event so well lit.
Yeah.
Such good sound in the back. It is. I don't deserve to be here, but by default, here I am.
You guys want to get into the tail of the tape a little bit?
I think it's important. It's time to meet some goats.
Yeah. So we're going to start. I don't know if they're coming out, but we're going to talk about our morning show guy, Pruski. His goat's name is Dorito. It's a 37-pound female goat. These goats are all out of the fighting barn in Maidstone. I think Pruski has struck a chord with his goat for sure. They've had a good banter. They've had a good training regimen. I think Pruski said he's been feeding his goat better. So she's ready to go.
But if I may, nobody has a tighter bond with their goat than Kaylee and Young Taco.
No, I think actually Kaylee had mentioned she was going to take the goat home and ask her partner if they could house a goat.
There's a solid chance that goat never goes back to me.
Yeah, I think they fell in love.
Yeah, which is beautiful. It's a love story.
Yeah, and then of course we have Dan Stoll's goat, who he named Dave, which
Great.
I don't know where to even start. It's a female goat. He named it Dave. Dan is a beautiful guy, not as good as the game. So, but bless him, he has the heaviest goat, 38 pounds, which tells me early front runner, probably more full, ready to go.
That goat is packing heat.
Gentlemen, just getting word. I don't know if you can hear it through the stream, but there are some goats getting rambunctious backstage. They are definitely calling out to the champions of the ring here. I say we should probably call on Pruski. Make your way down to the chute with your goat Dorito as we do the tail of the tape with yourself and your goat. So you can make your way down, and Donnie and Shane will continue to keep us informed as to what's happening.
I honestly thought that was Pruski making that noise. So here we are.
Pruski, not foreign. I mean, he speaks the goat's language.
He does. Fluid.
You look into the eye of the goat. You might as well look into the eye.
And if you'll notice, Pruski is carrying his goats.
Wow.
Yeah, like Simba in The Lion King. Yeah, there it is.
This way, Pruski. Step this way. Hi there, Pruski. Welcome to the pen here. I would say what are we calling this, gentleman?
The crap castle.
It's the crap castle. If you can notice, I don't know, we've got Teva Engineer on the back there. We've got your picture on the goat. Pruski, tell us about your strategy going in here. I know this goat's quite heavy. I can hear you breathing slightly. How are you feeling today heading into this? Dorito's been eating a lot and actually headbutting the other goats out of the grass pile. So
Interesting.
Agitated. Love
I
that.
think
There's a goat that wants an edge.
Dorito's ready to go. I think. And Dorito, if we can get a quick word here from you, sir. Easy girl. Easy girl. All right. Dorito, what kind of preparations have you been doing today?
Eat the microphone.
Oh, how do you go wrong? I think showrunner right now, Dorito with a lick on the face from Evan LaDouche. Unbelievable. Brewski, make your way in and introduce your goat to the bingo grid that hopefully maybe she defecates on. Back to you, Shane and Donnie.
Hey, are we putting these goats down immediately, or is Bruce responsible to hold those goats so we don't have any kind of an early...
Fair point. I think we should probably leave them out of the grid. Fair point.
We can't have a pre-poop.
No.
You're completely right, and that's why you guys are running the show.
Well, I wouldn't say running it. I'm mediating, perhaps.
Don't listen to me. I'm just going to keep on doing my thing, but you're right. Let's bring in the next goat. Gentlemen, can you give us a little bit more about Dan Soul and Dave?
Dan Soul is a man on his own, unless he has Dave with it.
Right. And Dan Soul is carrying the heaviest goat at the group, 38 pounds of pure steel.
438, man. It really is.
All right. Welcome to the Crap Castle, Dan Soul.
Has missed a lot of arm days.
Obviously, you are prepared as ever, as is your goat, but walk us through what you guys have been doing the last week here to get prepared for Goat Poo Bingo.
We have just been straight Brock Lesnar muscling here. We're feeding them tin cans, Metamucil, and eggs.
Eggs, that's the secret.
Or is that a cooked egg, or are we going raw?
We're going Rocky Shane Tovar.
Excellent. And any nerves going into the event here today?
Well, just a little bit. Dave stabbed me in the neck with his horn.
Oh, wow. Like I said, danger here, not only from the back end, but from the front, boys. I don't know if you can see, but there's a giant gouge across Dan Soul's neck here.
Goats will get you coming and going.
I mean, he looks like he could be leaking some blood here. We might have to get him out of the ring.
Well, Evan LaDouche, he is a one-man wrecking machine. He's just rip roaring, ready to go, trying to get out of my hands, trying to take a crap on this big circle here. It's going to be a good...
He's also a sheep.
Yeah.
Wow. Also, Dave, how you feeling? Interesting thoughts, Dave. How have you been preparing for this week, and how has your budding friendship with Dan Soul been going along this week as you've been preparing? I don't think we can say that on live television, Dave, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here and move back up to the booth with Dave and Shane as Dan makes his way back out of the ring.
Still a goat right there.
Yeah,
that's a goat focused solely on the job at hand.
That goat is prepared, very ready. I guess our last goat now. We're going to bring in Taco, Miss Kaylee McIntosh's goat.
All right, Kaylee, make your way into the crap castle.
Yeah, I noticed that Kaylee's not laboring near as much as Dan was.
She's not. She's far stronger than both men.
So it's important to note that Kaylee is likely the strongest person on the on-air team.
Also, couldn't help but notice, but she's got a very powerful stance going on down here. She's got 1 foot on the fence, which tells me that she's prepared and ready.
She's properly supporting the goat.
Yeah, and the goat is not afraid of that ring.
No, all right,
trying to get in there.
Kaylee, a lot of people might say that you're the softest of the three based on the fact that you tried to bring your goat home. You didn't even think your goat was going to make the event. What do you say to your haters out there?
As you can see, she has made it here.
Yeah, that's very obvious.
Yeah, good eye.
Dynamite drop it.
Yeah.
I realized that maybe having a goat in a 2-bedroom apartment, not ideal.
I mean, it would prepare the goat for the small space of crapping on the grid board, though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that could have been a game plan, too.
Interesting. And we've been talking about food choices. Brewski mentioned eggs. Dan just basically said that he's been training Rocky with his goat. Have you been doing anything special with your goat this week?
I kind of went with a Batman approach.
Interesting.
Yeah, so my goat, Taco, she is...
Don't just ignore Shane and Johnny. I mean, they're obviously brilliant, but sometimes their minds go on them.
Yeah. So Taco here, she's a little shy, you know? So I just tried to make sure she wasn't camera shy. We set her up with an Instagram account. So she did a lot of Facebook Lives. She's very okay with cameras now.
Taco's a go to the people.
We also put her in a very big pyramid scheme.
Oh, wow. Making any money?
No, she's heavily in debt. But now she's not afraid of strangers, especially asking
and she was a lot of cosmetics.
Yeah, and yeah, she's doing pretty good.
If your goat, obviously female, if your goat could choose Cody Maz or Jason Whiting as a lifetime partner, who do you think that she would choose?
I don't know. Jason's he's shaking his head. Cody, what do you? Would you be okay with a goat?
Cody's
Cody, before I even asked the question, he was ready. So we're gonna move over here to Taco for a quick sec. Taco, obviously underdog here. Shane and Donnie have said that you are the clear favorite in terms of the underdog. How are you feeling about today's event?
Right.
I mean, an excellent strategy for sure. You've got a good relationship with Kaylee. That's nice. But camera shy, you seem a little bit nervous right now. Shane, Donnie, any thoughts from up there? You're getting a good angle on the kind of brainwaves happening
Well,
right
what
now.
I was going to say is, Kaylee, I think I would endorse you having the goat as a pet. I have an 18-year-old son who makes way more of a mess than the goat would in the room. So I think
And is equally trained
Yeah.
in the toilet room.
yeah, for sure. So I think you're okay. I think you should just maybe write. I could write a stern fact if you'd like, and get you some.
I am concerned though that Taco doesn't seem to have the same intent. I worry Taco's been too big. Taco may be overly socialized and not willing to defecate in public.
But if you watch a prize fighter before they go in the ring, they are calm as a bomb, and then Taco looks ready to
But they
roll.
also often have that steely look in their eyes, and I'm not seeing Taco looks like she's ready to nap.
It's true. She's nuzzling heavily into Kaylee's arm right now, which means, like, will she even be able to stand up and crap in the grid? We don't know.
It's going to be interesting.
Fair enough. I like to nap before I make too, though. So let's not judge Taco. No.
All right, Kaylee, you can take your goat on back, and we'll throw it right back up to Donnie Blankenship, Shane Romano. As you guys have now seen the goats, what are your thoughts as we head into potentially Prattsville population us?
Well, it's going to go one of two ways here, and if I may, Shane.
You may.
It's either going to be a complete free-for-all where everyone goes all at once, or it's going to be a chess match. These squares are there for a reason. We're going to see some movement, and we're going to see a lot of thought going into it. From
The biggest disappointment for any one of these handlers is going to be releasing your goat into the grid and having the goat drop first, but off the grid.
Right, that's also a risk. I look at it for these three combatants. When I took my kids to the school bus the first time and watched them be on the bus and they leave, it's out of your hands at that point. You've worked them as hard as you can. It's time for them to step up and
You've done the preparation. You've given them the tool,
right?
And now they just have to turn wrenches.
Absolutely, that's it. Let's get this going. I want to see what happens.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. The average goat will make 3 to 6 times a day, just after 2 o'clock here now. So one would think these goats have probably gone at some point this morning. Hopefully, they've held some back.
Sure, they have. They've got a lot to go. I think you said they eat 2 to 4 pounds of food a day.
Yeah, which you got to think means they're releasing 1.5 to 2.5.
Right. So, I assume they know what's at stake here, and they've prepared properly.
As we've discussed, these are goats who have trained for this their entire lives.
Right.
Do we know how old these goats are? Anybody? How old are the goats?
I believe
a long training period.
6 months. Yeah, at 6 months, I went all the time. So I feel like it's really going to happen.
This is due for some magic. I know that as a person who's had infant children myself, they poop a lot more at 6 months than they do at, say, 5 years. So these goats are in their crapping prime.
Yeah, thoroughbreds, really. I think the thing to think about, Shane, obviously, is you don't think about it when you're 6 months old. It just happens.
It's just au natural.
I have to wait. I have to,
on a good day, you wait.
Yeah. Oh, I try to wait.
Breaking news, gentlemen. The goats are getting ready. Let's throw some love out to the sponsors. 25 squares in the grid. If you guys want to walk through some of these local businesses, we couldn't do it without them. And a total of just over $12,000 raised for the goats' Christmas wish in the grid alone. You guys talk about that for a second.
Well, Evan, why don't you give us a number and we'll talk about that business for a second. We have 25, so we've got a lot of ground to cover.
Well, let's go through 5 at a time, and you guys can walk through it as we go. Let's start with the first 5 and give them some love.
So Creative Glass is number one. Interesting spot on the grid for sure. Are we going to see people migrate to the middle, or are we going to see perimeter poops? We really don't know.
That is the biggest question in the goat poop game is that goat trained to walk across the middle of the board? Is there going to be more perimeter play? Is the goat more comfortable with the shavings of the wood? Or are they okay with the violence?
Right, that's the question on everyone's mind. Going to number 2, it's our partners at Read and Write who gave us this beautiful grid, who gave us the bid for the goats. Great at signs, obviously. Look at this sign; it's beautiful.
All over the place. You see Read and Write advertising all over Wood.
It makes sense that the business has signs in the name because they do a pretty good job.
They do signs.
Indeed, they do. Yeah. And then we'll go to 3, Adelaide Apparel. So a little special place for us, obviously, sales girl Elise. She stepped up. I want to say she was the first business in, and that's a big one. So she took number 3, which is an odd choice, but Elise.
I actually believe I'm getting word as well that Elise's family actually might be in the crowd. I don't know if we can hear some cheers for the Adelaide Apparel Camp.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. All right.
Number 4, we have Denim Chrysler. Fantastic people over at Denim. Stepped up right away. Dave and the guys.
You want a Dodge truck, you know where you go?
You go to Denim Chrysler.
You sure do.
That's right. And then rounding out the first 5, we have Agland, who has always been fantastic in the community at every event. You can't go anywhere and not see an Agland sign. So we really got to thank Jackie and the team over in Camp, over the team at the Agland. Fantastic.
The big green machine, and they have the inside track just based on industry preference.
Yeah, for sure. They know a little bit about the.
You'll notice the number 5 square pointed right to the entrance.
Yeah,
A goat that hits straight off the bat. That's your first square.
Shane, are you a little concerned that they make it the Frady poops, as I call them? I mean, they get in and then they don't know what else to do, and it just happens. If they do, number 5 is a great spot to be.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you for that. I think it's now time for Cody Maz to set the stage, set the lights, set the music, and let's start bringing in these goats. What do you guys think?
Let's see some goats poop.
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right.
Let's go.
First contender in Goat Poo Bingo year 1. Let's bring in Michael Brewski and Dorito.
No secret. Brewski has the added edge here. Gets to bring his goat in first, walk the pen with him. He'll hold on to Dorito until it's time for all 3 goats to hit the mat at the same time. That goat's getting the first-hand look. Really eyeing up the space. Where does she want to crap?
Get to a neutral corner. No secret here why Brucey named his goat after a chip. It's a Lydia chip, absolutely. Obviously, big fan.
As long as you're not going Cool Ranch. Doritos a fine chip.
All right. Brewski is picked the far, on your guys' side, the far right corner, number 1, which is a bold statement. What do you think? Should we bring in the second contender?
Let's see number 2.
Number 2.
See what I did? Number 2.
In the program. Number 1 in your hearts, though, potentially. It's Dan Soul and Dave.
Dan Soul coming in with fire. Ice in his veins.
Dave is no lady, just flashing the business at the back.
Yeah. Dan is more presenting his goat than he is escorting his goat.
Dan is fired up, more so maybe than Dave. That could be an issue.
Yeah, I think they're on the same page. I think Dave's ready to roll.
Dave does look aggressive, ready. He's left his mark on Dan.
You notice the belly on this goat? It is full. There is things percolating.
And that looks like a lot of soup cans in there.
That is
stomachs in a goat.
4 stomachs.
All full of.
They're ruminants.
Yeah, they are ruminant animals. That's right, Jim.
All right, gentlemen. Last but not least, we have Kaylee McIntosh and Taco.
Slow, deliberate walk.
Always a lady.
A showman. Look at that little curtsy from Kaylee. Fantastic.
And you'll notice that Kaylee comes in with a lot more support for the goat. She's really holding on to things, blocking up the back end as well.
Yeah,
not going to be any misfires for that goat.
Absolutely not.
All right. We've said it. Are you ready to drop those goats?
Yeah.
Let's drop those goats!
But not actually dropping something down gently, please.
Thank you, Shane.
Kaylee, very ginger.
Nice.
Very ginger.
And some last-minute pep talks from the team. The bids are looking absolutely amazing. And looks like we've got Dave, who's definitely checking out his surroundings. Who's going to be the first goat on the grid over you, Donnie and Shane?
Well, it looks
Dave's
like
the most curious for sure. Dave not shying away from things. You look at Dorito's looking for an exit.
Yeah.
Dorito wants out.
Never a good
But
sign.
now look at Dorito looking towards the board, thinking there's a chance there. Maybe there's something brewing.
You know, like a dog, when you make eye contact with a dog as it's about to make, you feel shame. But at this point, I feel very prideful.
You also can't break away from the gaze. There's something about it that just pulls you in.
Well, that's a dog.
Oh my gosh, I see a sneak attack move. Kaylee Mack has brought out a treat for Taco. Whoa. Is that legit?
No, it's hey.
I don't
there
think
were no
any
rules
rules
on
are broken here. Depends on what's on that straw. Is there performance enhancing laxatives? And that's going to have to get tested later.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Shane made a comment earlier that when you want a dog to do something like sit, you give it a treat. And I feel like Kaylee is just really working the animal instinct here.
All 3 goats shying away from the chloroplast right now, and that's the risk that we knew we were going to run.
Well, we do have one on the razor's edge, if you will.
The important thing to focus on, that the goat is not a squatting animal. It's going to stand and let fire, and frankly, doesn't need to be on the grid to make on the grid.
I saw the leg kick there. That's a good move. That's what I do. That's how I get going. Yeah.
Well, you gotta prime the pump, as it were.
Yeah, you gotta fire the engine. Yeah, you can't just go in cold.
you don't jump on the Harley and walk it down the street. We have an entrance onto the grid.
Here we go.
This could happen,
my
folks.
gosh! Was that?
No.
Dorito is thinking about it. Dorito has found comfort on the chloroplast.
The thing about live TV, Shane, is we're here to watch a spectacle, but these goats don't have a watch. They can't tell time. They don't care. They're here for them, you know?
I'm gonna jump in the ring here, guys, ringside with Pruski, who seems to be representing the only goat on the grid so far. Pruski, as I'm talking, though, we're getting some more, definitely some confidence.
Answering the bell here.
Yep. Pruski, what are your thoughts here with Dorito, the only one on the grid 2 minutes into this competition?
I mean, like, before I get going, too, I got to sit there a minute and kind of suss out the surroundings, make sure everything's nice and comfortable. There's lights and cameras and people. This is a very public setting for Dorito. So she'll stand there, and then it's going to be like falling asleep. Slow at first, and then quick.
Interesting.
Back to you, boys.
I like your philosophy, Pruski. It's interesting. You put a lot of thought into it. I get what I call the 2-minute warnings, and I get goosebumps, and then it's time to go. So I don't get a lot of warnings, so I hope the goats are the same.
What I'm interested by here is that none of the trainers had the foresight or thought about reading material. None of the goats have an iPhone. None of the goats have Twitter access right now.
You know, I would take
and
it
for a lot of
far
people,
side.
that's integral to their daily making routine.
I'll get your mind on something else, like Gary Larson from the far side. I could read that all day, and next thing you know, I've had a movement.
Donnie and Shane, you guys want to focus a little bit on, we've got 9, 10, 14, and 15. This goat is all over those 4 squares. What businesses are potentially winning some radio ad campaigns right now?
Well, ironically, number 9 is BioClean, and we'll have to call them after cleanup for sure. So BioClean is your cleanup crew in this case.
Number 10 comes in at Sabre Communications.
Right.
Again, you need that cell phone to make the movement.
Right.
It's 2020. People need social media in order to defecate. These goats aren't any different.
I had an Archie comic as a kid. That's all I was allowed.
Back in the day,
too much
as it were.
stipulation. Yeah.
Back in
And
the
then if
day.
you go to 14, which is getting some love, that's Mary Brown's famous taters.
Mary Brown's has made me do something.
Hammer down Mary Brown's. My slogan I live by.
I like the spicy Big Mary.
Oh, who doesn't like it? And 15, Aztec Safety, which so far everyone has been safe, other than Dan, who has been gored. However, he's not letting it faze him. He's standing in his corner. He's a rock.
Much like Dave the Goat, Dan Soul is a competitor.
He is a
And
competitor.
it's going to take a lot more than a goat horn to the juggler to take him out of this game.
You know, Dan knew what he signed up for when he got into this, and it was a very real possibility that you would be gored or headbutted by one of these goats. Dan just took it like a champ, bless his heart.
It's good to see these goats. It's not aggressive down there right now.
Not yet.
They're minding each other's space. They're sticking together as sisters will.
Interesting. I feel like
It's the sisterhood of the traveling crap.
Yeah, well, good reference. Terrible movie, good reference.
Yeah, never seen it.
As you should have.
We're going to get the team now to exit the... No, they're not going to exit the ring. Sorry, I heard that information wrong, but let me go back to Dan Soul for a second. You guys were calling him a warrior. Dan, are you going to file any kind of complaint with any kind of HR on account of the gore?
The way I see it is I'm internally bleeding and not externally bleeding right now.
That's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, that is a good thing. The blood is supposed to stay inside your body, which is a good start to things. I'm still talking about how passionate Dave is and how eventually when he does decide to get on the board, it's going to be a one-man crapping machine instead of being in the hospital with the goat stabbed to the neck in a jugular.
Hey, I think, you know what, Buzzword, I think it's a great time you mentioned hospital to bring Malcolm Radke down to the ring here so he can talk to us a little bit about what it means to him in the LRHF to be a part of such a prestigious event. Malcolm, I'll walk you over right here. And Donnie and Shane, can you give Malcolm an introduction as we get set up?
Malcolm Radke, man of the community.
And needs no introduction. Look at him. He's so tall and so handsome and
Like a gazelle.
So good for this community in so many ways.
I feel very inadequate standing here because obviously you can only get Malcolm's face in the frame. You can only get my forehead. Malcolm, walk us through what it meant to be here for Goat Poo Bingo Year 1 and what you guys are doing with the COVID relief fund for some of the money that we're raising for the 50-50 Wish, which is happening right after this.
You bet. Yeah, it's a total honor to be a part of this. Really the pinnacle of what we do every day, for sure, to be part of that Goat Poo. Really appreciate you guys involving us. Half of the proceeds from our half of the 50-50 is going towards actually straight to furnishing a visitor lounge and some senior facilities across the community so that they can have some visitors over the holiday season.
When we came to you with this event, Malcolm, what was your first thoughts?
I loved it, obviously. Yeah, the GOAT, greatest of all time. Glad to be, back actually involving the GOATs. Home run, guys. Totally nailed it here.
It's a big plug for the goat. I'd like to have that on a splitter if we could. That'd be great.
Greatest of all time. I think that's the first time I've heard that. Back to you, Malcolm. Thank you for everything that you guys have done for our community to continue to do definitely through this time of the pandemic. Thank you.
Thanks for involving us.
Interesting to point out, the goats have now congregated to the center of the board, which is a hot spot for sure.
Unlucky 13.
Well, Willow Creek Clothing, they picked the center, and look what's going on here now. Everyone is focusing on that middle square. So a lot happening. Nissan number 12. We are on location at Nissan all the time. I feel like the goats know that, the listeners know that. So I feel like 12 is getting a lot of love here.
Block 13, also TLC Landscaping, the landscaping company.
Oh, right. There it is.
Number 11 Willow Creek, the TLC. Interestingly enough, well, an auction, TLC uses own mowers for clearing the grass, where you could just release a flock of goats.
Yeah, absolutely. Goats will eat your grass. They'll eat your garbage. They'll eat anything. They're fantastic. A very versatile animal.
They're fantastic.
Talking about the goats, Shane, the 4 stomachs you had mentioned earlier, that's to compartmentalize all the things they do ingest. So, and here we go.
They don't have the acidic system that another land mammal like yourself might. And as a result, those 4 chambers break everything down. That's the process that we're watching right now as these ruminants, as I described them, which is the proper name for a chambered stomach mammal, right? They're breaking things down. They're working on it. They're building up the momentum.
It's like a chemistry set in there, isn't it? Mixing into one and then into the other. It's a real beaker system inside the
It absolutely is. It's no different than you as a child standing in the bathroom at home. You took the mouthwash, you took some hand soap, some other various chemicals, maybe some perfumes and whatnot. You mix it all around in the sink. That's what's happening inside those goats right now.
So would you say with us mortals only having 1 stomach and goats having 4 that they are 4 times better than we are at processing food?
No.
Really? I don't know what else we can go with that. So I was really expecting a better walk-in. But
I feel like the single stomach mammal is a little bit more efficient.
I feel like
more indigestion, certainly with the acid reflux and those things that come with having a barrel of boiling acid inside your just above your intestinal tract. But
think about this, Shane. When we talk about filtered water, for example, the more filters it passes through, the better.
Well, that is true.
So maybe that's
when you triple distill a liquor, it's a finer liquor.
Yeah, you pay more.
They
usually have a cork, which is very fancy.
That's when you know it's fancy.
Very fancy.
We're hoping all these goats
are uncorked.
Just getting word, gentlemen. Sorry, talking about fancy and finer things in life. I believe it's a perfect time to bring in Shane. You know this lady very well. Jackie Tomeyer to come in and talk about the Lloyd X involvement.
Very fancy.
Goat Poo Bingo. Jackie will bring you down to the square over here.
We can't thank the Lloyd X enough for providing the crack palace here this afternoon.
Yeah, a facility like this is world class.
Jackie, obviously, without you, we would not be here. You provided the location, the goats, basically everything we needed for this event. What were your thoughts when we approached you with this, and how do you feel?
Oh, I was in 100%. Thought it would be a great event for Lloyd and for the Wish and for all of the businesses that supported it.
So I remember
Evan. I just want to jump in.
Yes, Donnie. Yes.
Notice what Brewski's done here. He's got down. He's sitting in front of his goat. He's communicating with his goat.
He's like a caddy on the PGA Tour right now, looking at the lay of the land.
Very bold.
If we could improv a bit, could Donnie, you be Brewski's goat Dorito, and Shane, could you be inside Brewski? That's awkward. And then we can talk about what's going through their minds right now.
Well, the problem now is Dorito knows we're talking about her, and now they're scattered.
We have
Stampede.
Yeah, everyone likes Jackie. So
it's so true. Like, look at
they're drawn to her. Fun fact. Fun for some people, wasn't fun for me. Coming home from college, where Jackie went to an agricultural college, she actually stole 2 goats.
Wow.
And brought them back to Lloydminster from the Peace Country.
Is there a statute of limitations on that crime, or is it Jackie's denied?
Oh, we paid money for those goats. All the better. I might add, we didn't live someplace where you can keep goats. We took them to our parents' acreage, set them free.
You've done a very valuable service.
I feel like we got to bring Jackie in here because you guys are definitely besmirching her good character here.
Absolutely not. I would take a bullet for Jackie Tomeyer. That's a fact.
I just wanted. Wow. Can we expand on that, Shane? Have you actually taken a bullet? Okay.
It's not about Shane today, Evan.
It's about the goats.
He's undying love for Jackie.
We got Jackie back here. Jackie, you mentioned when we were in the boardroom here at Lloyd X that you were quite certain that goats, the excrement event was going to be pretty crazy. Right now, we're getting a little bit of camera shy. But what do you think is going to happen here in the timeline?
Well, I mean, maybe I fed him a little too early this morning, and I didn't time that out well. But I did not think this would go past a couple minutes. So.
I mean, the longer it builds, the more excitement is going to have. I mean, we could be here till tomorrow, people, really.
The anticipation is palpable.
I quite literally have nothing else to do, so here we are.
Can we, Jackie, yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say, it's a good thing we have the exhibition grill here, because if we do need some burgers, I can go whip those up, and we can feed everybody here.
For that.
Any chance for fish? I'm a big fan of the fish fries.
Jim's fish and
Friday.
chips is pretty fantastic.
Just
Maybe some dry ribs?
Continent Pro, as these two goofs behind you. I mean, nice drop with the Lloyd X Grill with delicious food. Let's talk quickly about if this goes long. What's the long play here, Goats? Are we just all going to camp out, and are we allowed to stay here overnight?
Yeah, we are 100% allowed to stay here.
Hospitable, very nice.
Just amazing hospitality from Jackie. Back to you, Shane and
I
Donnie.
feel like Dave is a bit disheveled.
Dave's falling apart.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's
His name badge has slipped around to the front, but again, maybe that's no different than dropping your pants right now.
Sure.
The strings as they were do come up around the hind legs a little bit. Dave has stepped out of that. Dave might just be getting comfortable.
Yeah, and if you look at Kaylee's goat, it looks immaculate. Show goat, if you will.
That is a goat that's tied up well.
Yeah, very well.
But again,
Kaylee has some experience in tying up everything. I thank you.
Hello. How tight are those strings though? Is it preventing travel from the fourth chamber of the stomach down through the lower intestine?
Well, you got to watch the cinching. You can't over cinch, obviously. You want to give it a nice, easy path out. But I don't think Kaylee's is too tight. I feel like she's just done a very good job finding some angles and attaching the ropes to those.
I feel like if the ropes were too tight, Taco would have used the safe word by now, which
Oh my gosh. Hold on a second. We
What
do
have we
see
got?
a tail erecting here. We see a leg up, and this is Kaylee Max Taco. I can see something happening, gentlemen. Over to you.
I don't think you're supposed to stare right into it, Evan. It's like the sun. You're supposed to get a glimpse of it. And
This is like an eclipse right now. You want to look away or look through a box with a filter on it.
Listen, I feel like a fly to a light here. I can't look away.
Like a fly to crap.
yeah, fly to crap. That's ironic.
I can't stop looking. If there is something brewing here and I can't get my eyes off it, gentlemen, please save me from this massacre.
I believe that Taco has assumed the position. She's looking hard at number 7 right now, which is Alexis of Edmonton.
And more importantly, she's ignoring her sisters. I feel like she's zoned. She's zoned in.
I might add, when I say looking at it, I meant through the brown eye. Oh, she's moving.
My goodness.
Taco's finding her spot, I think. She's figured over to spot number 9, back to BioClean.
I feel like, just to pause you for a second, I feel like if you took a picture from Kaylee's angle, this would be a great rap album. You know, like they're all just kind of staring.
What would you title?
I think that was the original cover for one of the Boys to Men's first album.
That's accurate. Just
You know,
look at
they're
the
all
record.
dressed in white.
Motown Philly. Good song.
Oh, please.
Please is right. I wish we could play
Oh,
it.
massive tail erection here now, gentlemen. Massive tail. I do see something protruding. No, it's
There's gotta be
wishful
a better way
thinking.
to say that.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
I'm very confused.
And there's children watching.
Yeah.
I mean, this is on the internet. And it's like, come on.
And you can find some terrible stuff on the internet.
Play your audience.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
The internet is full of things.
Dan
Dan's making quick movements. He's trying to scare literally the crap out of his goat.
Well, I myself get the scaredy poops here and there, and it's a tactic. I mean, Dan is trying anything. God bless Dan. He is working his goat.
Dan's a manager right now. He's trying to encourage things to happen, but it goes one of two ways. If it's right at the surface, yeah, you can get immediate results that way, frightening the crap out of the goat. But if that goat's not quite on the precipice yet,
No.
if the goat's not really ready to drop an avalanche of turds like ice off of Kilimanjaro,
Interesting mountain. Right?
that'll button things back up. It'll restrict the flow.
Interesting. Would you call Dan, if we're doing wrestling manager references, would he be more of a Bobby the Brain Heenan or a Fuji or hold on,
Paul Bearer?
Yeah, Bruce, you just relax, bud. Paul Bearer, sure. Yeah, Jimmy the Mo. What are we talking here? Elizabeth? No?
Oh.
I did enjoy Elizabeth. Who did not?
Who didn't?
Yeah, it was a real battle in the end.
You know who else enjoyed Elizabeth?
Well, Hulk Hogan
Macho
did.
Man Randy.
Well, it didn't
Yeah.
cause the breakup of the tag team.
Yeah.
And for no better cause.
Dave now just trying to shred.
Oh,
the
tarps
bid.
off. Tarps off, Dave.
And that's not uncommon. You see that a lot of people in their homestead. George Costanza, for one, like to take his shirt off.
Yeah. Well, you do feel like you've gone back to being a baby. You know, you take your top off, you get comfy, you sit. It's just what's come natural.
Sorry to cut you off there, gentlemen. I don't know if you caught that on the side here, but I did. We had one Michael Pruski. I'm gonna come over here for a second. We had one Michael Pruski who was leaning a little bit too nonchalantly on the fence, and we just about had a single vehicle Pruski rollover. Pruski, can you walk us through what just happened in your life flash before your eyes? And then, of course, Donnie and Shane are going to ask a couple questions about how you're feeling right now, and if your pants are indeed full.
This isn't like secured into the ground.
Not at all.
I'm quite a heavy set fellow,
A little bit.
we leaned a little too hard. You know, there's that point, and then you go past that point, and there's no return. I was almost there.
And the main question everybody at home is wondering is, are the pants indeed full? No, not yet.
They're snaggy.
I got one on deck though. If none of these goats decide.
That's disgusting. I immediately regret coming over
Yeah,
here.
to be fair, we didn't stipulate though. Pruski is one with his goat, and if that were the way they win, that is
Brucey
victory.
has certainly been the most hands-on at this point. He's been down on the mat talking to Dorito, encouraging, speaking softly. I really thought that more of that nurturing might come from Kaylee.
Yeah.
Michael Pruski has been in there talking through things with Dorito and really trying to coax the very turds out of him.
Yeah, I feel like if I get some encouragement while I'm in there, it helps. It always helps.
Again, it goes both ways. If I'm there, if I'm sitting, if I'm in position, you start talking to me, it's game over.
Yeah, agreed.
I go into lockdown mode.
Very different approaches from the three handlers here. Obviously, Pruski's very animated, moving around a lot. Kaylee's sitting back, waiting, biding her time. And Dan Soul has been stabbed. So we have all these things happening.
Kaylee has certainly talked to her athlete, I think, more than the other managers here. And she's prepared Taco, brought Taco to the ring, and is now letting nature take its course.
Well, as a coach myself, you know, you coach in practice. You don't coach in the game. You let the athletes be athletes. And you can't put a time limit on something like this. It's not the time to get in her ear and say, hey, listen, figure it out down there. They know what's on the line.
It's not something to be rushed.
It's not, absolutely not. Because if you rush the experience, you get a bad outcome, obviously.
But a key on this is that we don't need massive volume either.
Oh, you need one.
It's a single nugget. It wins the whole thing.
Now, if I may, are they nuggets? Or what are we talking about here?
Goats are more of a nugget creature. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any fear of a nugget, if you will, hitting and then rolling?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
These are a finer, drier nugget. You could compare it to deer feces, rabbit feces, on a larger scale, a moose.
Oh, wow.
Not dissimilar from their barnyard cousin, the sheep.
Well, luckily we do have Maz and his fantastic camera crew here. If we do have to get to a photo finish, we can pinpoint for sure what square was hit first.
Gentlemen, just to cut you, it's a perfect time, I think, with a little bit of a lull in the goats' action as they were migrating towards one corner. Let's give some delicious shout-outs to a couple other sponsors on this screen that we have not talked about yet. Over to you, boys.
Well, number 16, near and dear to my heart, obviously, Original Joe's. Big fan. Been a part of that group for a while. 17, Spears. Another. You said delicious, so I'm going with, obviously, delicious. Fantastic. Ribs, dry ribs. They are Maria's favorite. Oh, they are. They're everybody's favorite, but she gets the namesake. And if we actually look quickly where Taco was sent for 21, which is Guardian Plumbing, which these goats will be testing.
Very apt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timing was almost perfect there.
That would be apropos.
Do you know just beside 21 is number 22, Payless Car Wash? We're going to have to hose these goats off too.
Yeah, Dean Dorchuk and the crew down there will supply the pressure washers later on. They have the anti-spot rinse, all of that. So these
warm water
these
rinse
signs certainly going to be usable next year.
Talking to Dean, actually, he did say that one of the secrets of their rinse getting no film in their vehicle is putting a little salt in the water. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Yeah, well, now you know. Dean Dorchuk is a man about town.
Man about town, not at the barbershop.
No, he doesn't need to.
No.
Yeah, also, another very attractive man, very, very well put
Good
together.
looking fella.
Always put
Athletic.
together. Yeah. Coaches with me on the Niners. He's a fantastic guy, very high energy guy.
Very high energy.
A polite way of saying it.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
high energy. Yeah.
Also down that same line over to number 18. Well, we look to breach the back end ring. If you need a ring, Richardson Jewelry, the place to go.
Great drop in and great segue into the ring. They have more than rings at Richardson's Jewelry and a friendly family atmosphere.
Watches,
Yeah.
earrings.
I myself am wearing a watch. At Richardson's Jewelry.
If you needed a brooch, I think that's probably the spot to go.
Sure. Pandora, a big line of Pandora.
Absolutely. People love the Pandora line.
Everyone loves Pandora. Okay, this guy's going to get a shot.
This is in, gentlemen. Sorry to interrupt, but we have a collusion down in the ring where some managers are thinking about taking the bibs off their goat to expand their abdominal area to give them a little bit less strain.
Blue tire there.
Interesting.
And Dorito is tripping on his her own bib, which is a hazard. Obviously, I don't think we can take those off. I don't know why we would. I love looking at Brewski's face on the goat.
Yeah, I would like to actually tattoo that onto the goat.
That's not a bad idea.
Other sponsors, as we work down, in at number 24 G-Force Diesel Repair, they've worked with diesel exhaust, and right now we're looking for some goat exhaust.
Yeah, heavy duty mechanics over at G-Force, looking for a heavy duty pile coming out of one of these goats. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'd be remiss if I didn't. 23 Nelson Homes. You're familiar with that company, yeah?
I am acquainted with the good folks at Nelson Homes, and I can attest every home that Nelson Homes has provided has had a bathroom in it.
Wow, and what a modern, it's just a beautiful system we live in.
You know, they down there, they really try to look at the fundamentals and things that every house needs. A commode is one of those, and that's why they've been in business since 1949.
We're looking here. We're really congregating in this 8, 9, 7. We have talked with we've got 7 northern factory work where when you need, Carhartts and you need Saks underwear. By the way, fantastic. These goats aren't wearing any underwear. Yeah, they do. It's snug. It's like I believe they call it the ballpark. Yeah, sure they do.
Interesting.
I would call it a hammock for your wang, but whatever. Here we are.
I like to refer to it as a dong saddle.
Yeah, sure enough.
Just going to speak to the camera on this one for a sec. It's a very good thing that as we were doing the stream on YouTube, we noted that this was not be kid friendly.
Right.
We have our first singer there. I don't know. I don't want to repeat it.
No, don't. That's a beauty of
Although
life.
I did say tail erection 3 times so far.
Yeah,
so.
too many times.
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
Actually, and how you have not made fun of me yet for holding my ear like a weird responding.
I like the idea that you have an earpiece or an ear infection.
Yeah, I'd like to think that you're like a bodyguard for the president.
Interesting.
Yeah,
And
interesting.
Secret Service. The tech is so.
Taco has hustled right in on number 8, though. That's Northern Factory Workwear. They'll provide you all kinds of high-sided rubber boots, which might be essential when you're washing this up later.
Yeah, I think we should have actually talked about getting the crew here some boots because they're going to be stepping in.
Yeah, they're going to be deep in the crowd.
Notice that I believe it's Taco is really prepping its back.
Yeah, she's really working on the backside there, pulling on the cheeks perhaps. Sometimes you got to do that. You got to anchor yourself side seat to side seat to really open things up and get the evacuation that you need.
Well, that is a smart move actually. It's a veteran move. Not everyone knows about it.
There's a goat that's cracked before.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting to see is that they're kind of it's sort of looking like the Abbey Road cover right now.
Oh yeah, walking across. Yeah, very nice. Great album.
Fantastic album. One of
Bringing up the Beatles, actually. Every time I see Jason Wedding, I made this joke earlier, but every time I see Jason Wedding, it's like the first time I heard the Beatles. It's like looking at a warm summer day. Yeah.
Every time I see Jason Whiting, it's like walking out the door and seeing a double rainbow, specifically just on your backyard, and you're the only one that gets to enjoy it.
Fantastic.
It's amazing that somebody who would be so picturesque himself takes such fantastic pictures.
Oh, well, he knows what makes a good picture. It's him in it,
Yeah.
Selfies, that
Absolutely.
guy. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. What other sponsors we got to go through here?
Well, Aztec Safety is a big one. They're on the edge, on the perimeter, if you will. So we've had 2 safety companies, Aztec and CanSafe. And I wanted to know, other than Dan being gored, this has been a very safe event. We did have the gate fall down, which we caught before anyone was.
Kaylee caught it with her face.
She did. Great catch by Kaylee. So we've had a lot of, I won't say nonsense, but nothing that you wouldn't deem safe.
Dorito precariously close over there to square number 19. What's going to happen here today will not smell like flowers.
No, it won't.
But if you want something that does, you know where you go? Abbey Road.
And also, if you want to grow some flowers or plants, you maybe follow up some of this goat poo that's going to fly here.
That's an interesting take. I mean, it does the quality of the fertilizer that comes from the manure is based largely on what goes in to create said manure. With the diet that Dan Sewell has given to Dave, you might want to avoid that.
Yeah, I don't think you want to have that raw egg menu. So that's
tin cans.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's not a quality goat poop. It's gonna happen.
And we are looking for quality. Now, at the end of the day, we're not fussy.
No.
We'll take any kind of
Any good nugget.
Yeah, any good nugget is right. And the nuggets, speaking of which, I do love them. Nugs, not drugs. You remember that?
Absolutely.
The mantra.
Nugs or hugs
Yeah,
are better than drugs.
Sure they are.
But
yeah.
if
they
they
both
give me
rhyme.
the option between a hug and nug, I'm taking the nug.
Oh, every time you will. Every time.
It's interesting how these goats have stayed together through this entire process. They haven't fanned out. They're really staying as a close-knit group. And as sisters, a family that craps together sticks together.
Yeah, they do. And they are doing a bit of a feeling out process here, obviously. Not a lot of action, but I feel like it's the calm before the storm. We have, see, look what happened there. Taco put her hoof down on Dorito's bib, kept her in the ring.
Yeah.
Interesting move. And now they're just,
Well, Taco, we talked about being the consummate professional here. She knows how this works. She knows where things need to be. She's trying to keep her significantly larger sister in line.
and honestly, they are here for the show. She knows that it's about a production. It's not about one individual. It's about the Goat's Christmas Wish. And we couldn't do without these goats. But they need to figure it out quickly here.
It's amazing how something so crappy could bring so much joy.
You know, it's weird. She never had to go like 2 times since I've been up here. So I have to ask, what's the hold up here?
I went once.
Interesting. Did
Gentlemen,
anyone put their money down on Shane Tomeyer?
Gentlemen, I'm just going to get I don't know how safe this is for YouTube.
Interesting.
But if we can zoom in.
Here we go.
Chubba, our
wants to zoom in
engineer
on the
behind the
butthole.
scenes. Dan Soul, who's the goat closest to me here that's still on the grid?
That's Dave.
Dave appears to have something
not here,
brewing in his back end. I see what one might call a dirty dangler. Can you guys expand on that?
It's called a dag, actually.
We
That's
do
the
have
term.
we do have the front row view of it right now. Dave, well, as you know, Dave's a killer.
Yeah, Dave's a mess.
Absolutely.
Dave's not here, man. You can make any number of Dave jokes here.
Dave has been used in movies for years as a solid name. It works well.
Yeah.
Dave Foley, one of my favorite Daves.
Oh, from New Kid. What's
Kids
it
in the
called? Kids in the
Hall.
Hall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great Canadiana piece right there. Very good. He also had a small bit part as the principal in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. One of my
Sure
favorite
did.
shows.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, very good.
These are the Daves we know.
Good for Dan also for picking a very John Houseman name. You know.
Yeah.
Very very well used. Very relatable.
You want to be able to remember the goat that
Sure.
crapped on your square.
Sure you do. Yep. Because you're making history here.
Yeah, this is the big time. This is the Mount Olympus of the goat poop game.
Yeah, it is. This is where they've all been. If these 3 got selected, there's 1,000 goats out there that would love to be in this ring right now.
There
Funny
was-
about live TV, Shane, is you can't force this thing
No,
to happen. It's
absolutely
it's going to
not.
happen when it happens.
It's nature taking its course right now, and that's the beautiful side of it.
I noticed a few of them are chewing, and I wonder what are they eating?
I believe it is.
It looks like each other at this point, which
Yeah.
is
I think it's the rope from the bibs. To be honest,
Dave
good thing
is
it's
eating the
organic.
rope again. Dave's a damn mess.
yeah. I don't think Dave read the rules, or maybe Dan didn't relay them, but I'm not sure you're allowed to physically accost the sisters in here. But again, there is no referee.
Well, you look at the history of Dave. Dave comes into the ring today after goring her manager. Sorry. Now Dave chewing on the ropes of Taco, knowing that Taco's a well-presented goat.
Oh, look at
knowing
this.
that Taco cares about her appearance, and he's trying to get inside of her head.
You wonder if
I keep on calling Dave a he because of the name.
Yeah, the name is a bit misleading.
Gentlemen, I'm going to jump in here. We are obligated by the Saskatchewan Licking and Gamer Association. I totally botched that.
Yeah, you did.
We are obligated to draw at 3 o'clock for the Goat Wish 50-50. It is 3. We've been streaming for nearly 1 whole hour. So maybe with a little spin of the wheel, we
Doritos
can
eating his foot.
get these goats geared up. Yes. So we will.
There's zero chance there's not goat poop on that hoof.
We will throw this over to Malcolm quickly. Malcolm, totals roughly. What is somebody walking away with here in the 50-50?
So $915 for the winner and $915 for our charities.
That's
my friend.
fantastic.
$915 is going to be absolutely amazing for somebody to walk away with this. So let us do this right now.
This is exciting.
Let's bring it up to.
Let's bring it right up top.
Oh, you want
here.
to bring it up top? Well, and Malcolm can reach. Look how tall he and handsome.
I would not have been able to do that.
Here, I
Do
got
you, do you want to spin or do you want to pull the number, Donnie?
I'd like to spin, if I'm being honest.
$915 to the winner of the Goat Wish 50-50. This is the big time now.
How many rotations would you like?
I would like 700.
We have to have this done at 3 o'clock, though.
Let's hit it.
All right, drum roll if we could. $915. We have the winning ticket.
I always think it's important to get to the bottom of the barrel. It's where I've spent most of my life. Jennifer Gray.
Jennifer Gray.
Like from Dirty Dancing?
Jennifer Gray, everybody. If you are watching the stream, you are $915 richer, courtesy of Goat Wish 50/50. I'm going to bring Malcolm in real quick. Malcolm, $915 to be split amongst the Wish and the LRHF. That's tons of money that you guys can use to benefit the community.
Yeah, I'd ask you to do the math on that right here on the spot. How much do you guys get?
$1,830 was the total.
So 950 divided by 2. We'll throw that over to Shane. He's the number guy. Shane, what is that?
Was it 915 total or 915 each?
915 we take together as a group, and 915 the winner. So what is 915 divided by 2?
Well, you're doing that backwards, bud.
Well, no, he's trying to get what. Yeah,
Okay, so
about
915 divided by 2 is 467.50.
Yeah.
So okay, there it is. $467 to both of our groups. That's amazing. Malcolm, talk to us about the COVID relief fund and what you guys are planning to do here.
Yeah, we've been a little busy since March, just trying to make sure the frontline staff are healthy and safe and taken care of, and then also all the isolated residents and patients in the hospital and the care homes across the community. This money specifically, like I said, it'll go towards furnishing a bit of a visitor lounge so they can have some loved ones in over the holiday season and safely socially distance.
We could not do the Wish lottery without you, Malcolm. So on behalf of us, thank you to your entire team for doing this with us. That's life-changing money for somebody for sure, and it's going to be huge for somebody this year at the Goat Christmas Wish. Walk us through your final thoughts as we have drawn the winner, but we still have yet to see the excrement.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, guys. Bit of a marathon here. What are we gonna? You radio guys are doing good at this live TV thing. What are you gonna talk about for another hour?
Well, we got tons of stuff planned.
We're going to talk about crap, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Lots of crap.
It's a broad topic.
Thank you, Malcolm. Over back to you, Donnie and Shane.
Oh, we got an interesting tactic right now on the pitch. It's a very interesting move by Kaylee. She's in there with her cell phone. She's got Twitter open, trying to relax the bowel of Taco.
Interesting.
A very aggressive move by the manager to step in and do that. When you get onto that chloroplast floor, you're in the danger zone.
Yeah, you are. You're taking your life in your hands. And Kaylee, I gotta see. It's gonna be interesting to watch how these managers start to pull out all the stops. You know, Kaylee's been the most active.
One of them needs to pull out the cork.
Yeah, indeed. I think we have I think the goats maybe like the attention, and they're maybe embarrassed. I can't go when I'm embarrassed. So maybe it's just more of a matter of just a little bit more time, a little bit of patience.
What's going to be very interesting, the longer this goes, the higher the likelihood of the trifecta, where all three goats drop at once.
And we haven't prepared for that, Shane, so that would be something the judges would have to get together on and really go to the video. It is interesting to think, Dan throwing a little scare in there. And I guess my question to the three managers is, do you have any plans not only for your own goat, but for the other two to keep them at bay? Is that something that they've thought about?
Has there been any sabotage?
Right.
I'll take that and run with it all day, gentlemen. Dan Soul, quickly over to you. What have you done maybe to bung up your other managers' goats?
Well, I've been scaring him, spooking him a little bit, just letting on Pruski that now he seems to believe that I'm doing it, but yeah, I'm totally doing it. But more or less, I'm not about dirty tricks here. I'm trying to get my goat at least a little bit closer to me, get this tarp off. It's clearly a hindrance, and anybody who's pooped naked knows that it is the best way to poop. 200%.
It's interesting that Dan Soul wants that goat closer to him. Is that the bond that you've developed with Dave over the last several days here, that Dave is really only going to make when you're in her presence?
I almost feel like it's a sixth sense thing at this kind of point right now, because
it's the seventh sense.
Yeah,
seventh sense, absolutely. Because last time Dave walked over, I got a definite pungent odor, but I can't tell if that was all in my head, that bond, or if it's going to happen very soon.
Well, if I could quote George Costanza, it's not really a lie if you truly believe it. So you got Pruski believing that this is happening. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. And here we have Dan Soul.
Pruski, first off, do you believe in life after love?
Oh. Say it.
I can't. My voice.
I'm going to break into song
Don't
again.
Sing it. Just say the lyrics.
I don't even know the lyrics.
Do you believe in
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah. The
I
echo
believe
was nice.
we are rolling inexorably toward some dookie. That's what I think's happening here. It's a slow build.
So with the slow build, do you believe that when the floodgates finally let go, are you going to be in the splash zone?
Nothing risked, nothing gained.
Wow.
And Pruski does stand the greatest risk with that beard.
Yeah.
It's not a cleanly manicured beard. There's going to be particulates.
No, for sure.
And Pruski's Pruski's eating goat crap for the next couple of days.
Yeah, you know what though? But Pruski is a man about town. He's here for the charity. He's not afraid to get his beard wet, if you will, and God bless him for doing that. You know.
Yeah, you know what? I'd like to say that Pruski's kind of like a stay-at-home defenseman. You know, he's going to be there for you when you need. And if
He looks like he stayed at home a
He's
lot.
Craig Ludwig, you know, blocking shots back there.
If the excrement is airborne, he's not worried about it.
No,
you know,
he's not.
and he's here for the long haul.
If there's one manager that I believe, if that is a perimeter defecation shot that comes off, Pruski's the guy that's going to dive in front to deflect it back onto the board, and that's certainly in play.
Yeah, certainly in play.
Thanks, Pruski, for your time. Appreciate this and everything you've done to get your goat geared up. I'm going to mosey on over here to Kaylee Mack for a second. Kaylee Mack, obviously, we are in the 12th hour. How are you feeling stamina-wise?
I'm a little tired, but I do have confidence in Taco. She's had her tail halfway pitched for the longest time, so it's just a waiting game now, really.
You notice that Kaylee said pitched and not erect. See, that's right.
That's
Kaylee.
a better
That's
use of
right.
word.
That's
Yeah.
good. Kaylee, I'm glad you've grown from this experience.
Yeah, don't make the same mistakes that I make. Do you think that with the change in temperature, I mean, fall is here in Canada. Sure. Do you think the temperature of the Lloyd X is factoring in the ability for the poop to flow?
Wow,
It is a bit.
That's a good
chilly
point.
in
That's
here.
the insider look.
It's a little cold, as you can see. The boys up there with their scarves on.
Yeah, I'm told to wear a scarf, to be totally honest.
Which I might ask. I think Donnie's wearing a blanket, to be honest, but
I have a big head and it looks like a blanket, but it's actually a fashion piece, and my wife picked it out, and she's beautiful and smart. So
I love how he completely turned that. Oh my gosh, we
Taco's
have
making
a
an exit.
goat on the fence. Thank
From
you,
the
Kaylee,
top
for your
row.
time. Back to you, Donnie and Shane. I love the scarf, by the way, Donnie.
Oh, thank you very much. You know who I'd like you to talk to actually while you're roaming is our two sales girls who did an incredible job filling this board with our clients. It's not an easy conversation to say, would you like to donate while we all watch animals make? But we only really had a couple people that were like, I don't know.
Every time you
Everybody
say
else-
make, I think you say mate.
I agree. I actually thought that.
I think
Yeah.
the word make is funny.
This is not a goat orgy. No,
Nope.
this is goats pooping.
Although if that's what the internet wants, that's what the internet will get.
It's on there someplace.
I bet you can find it on the
You're
dark web.
100% right.
Dan knows where those sites are.
On that on that segue, bringing in Brittany and Elise, sales staff force here at the Goat. Walk us through your conversations with local clients to get them to buy a grid, and what did you say to them?
Well, we really had to work that charity angle, I think, because simply asking them if they like to pay to be a part of goats pooping on a bingo card wasn't the way to go.
Elise, any elaboration?
Well, I just started with stay with me. This is for the Christmas wish. And
Good
then I started
tactic.
talking about the poo.
Good tactic, Elise.
Was there any interesting conversations that happened afterwards? Was there any clients who just said, tell us more? What kind of crap?
I mean, we explained that it would be goats pooing for a great cause.
Of course.
Yeah. Everybody seemed to be pretty supportive. We were actually only going to sell 20 squares, but so many businesses wanted to support the Christmas wish. So we actually sold an extra 5.
You know, and that just shows you the community impact that the Wish has and that we have set up here. My question for you ladies, though, is are you prepared? Did you bring your sleeping bags to stay here tonight if we do not see any dookie, as Pruski has elaborately already explained moments ago, to stay here for the night and camp it out?
I didn't pack a sleeping bag, but I usually have a car blanket, so I'm prepared.
Well, you can use my scarf, evidently. It's also a doubles as a
love
blanket.
it. Brittany, same question to you.
I also have car blankets. You can't go anywhere without them. So.
Is there anybody at home that you want to shout out watching live on the internet right now?
My children already left.
Wow. Wow.
Cut it! Cut it! Cut it!
The girl's obviously very well trained to be able to get these grids filled, and whoever your boss is, he must be a great dancer and very handsome. So
Probably
good job.
exceptionally handsome. You have to be handsome to have an idea like goats crapping on things and people buying it.
Hey, good point. You know,
well, that's the company probably best suited to cover up the smell. That's Abbey Road.
Okay, interesting. 20. What was 20?
CanSafe.
CanSafe 24.
GeForce
GeForce
Diesel.
GeForce Diesel on 25.
Citadel Mechanical.
We're going to go to the tapes. Pruski, you've got thoughts. You had a bird eye view here. You were looking right in the eye of the storm. What did you see?
We are going to obviously check with the camera crew, but I'm saying 20 was the square hit first.
I believe you're right. I feel like I saw like the universe slowed to a crawl, and I saw that first rock drop, and Can Safe, square number 20, was the first recipient.
And then it was kind of reverse momentum where it arced out, hit 20,
up and to
then
the left.
rolled back.
Interesting.
There's a roll back, but 20, if we can confirm, I'm saying 20 is the number.
I apologize because I screamed when it happened and the goats freaked out and there was more movement there.
Well, it really was. What you instigated there was Dave pivoting. And pivoting from the noise and the fear. Dave arced hard to Dave's right, our left, and that's what really created the machine gun spray effect.
Dan, I'm here with Dan, who's the manager of it's unconfirmed yet, we're just saying this. Dan, the manager of Dave, appears to be the winning goat.
Well, we knew it was going to be a long defensive game, but we had to get turds in long, turds in deep, and do that kind of thing, and it ended up working out.
Hey, work hard, good things happen, Dan, right?
What were you feeling as the crowd collectively took their breath and we gasped as the excrement hit the floor? What were you thinking that could be from Dave, my guy?
Well, I was flat out looking at the moment. I can't deny that was going on, and I was intrigued by the fact that I did not know goats pooped like when you put a quarter in an M&M's machine.
Oh, we have a second.
My gosh, Dorito.
Is that a 9 or on 10?
That's 10.
That is, I believe that was 9 hit first.
Oh.
My. Can I?
9, 10, and 5.
Oh, we got another. Oh,
We have urine over here. The floodgates have literally opened.
So 9 and 10, Shane, BioClean and Sabre Communications.
Oh
my God! And it went on 16. Oh,
And 16 as well. There's crap everywhere.
16 gets a double dose. Wow.
Michael Brewski's down in the eye of the storm.
This is where live TV is tough because now the goats.
And he's really having a reaction to it.
I would just like to jump in here quick. Brewski, instantly as the poop kind of hit the grid here, the bingo grid, you tucked and rolled and put the shirt over your nose. Talk to me. Describe the smell you are smelling right now.
It's like when you're at like a music festival and it's a hot day,
Uh-huh.
and you go into those little plastic boxes where we all
Right.
have to go make.
Yeah.
It's cooked and it
Yeah.
stinks.
Do you believe that as one goat let the floodgates happen, and I'm gonna speculate with Donnie and Shane in a minute here. Believe as one goat went, the other goat said, "I will also follow you down this journey on this road."
I feel like it was. It's okay, you guys. We can do this, but I'll go first. Dave bit the bullet and was like, "I'll let it down, and then you don't have to be embarrassed." And then it's just sisters that go together, stay together, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw it up to you guys, and I'm gonna go grab Kaylee quickly. But
I want to comment on the veteran move. We talked about the experience of Taco and Taco's approach to the whole thing. Taco was the only goat that came in, urinated first, and then crapped into the pee, therefore condensing everything, keeping it in one spot.
Yeah, honestly, and that's usually the routine. You usually go 1 and then 2, but they're usually pretty close together. Fantastic work, and didn't move. Stayed, found a spot, was happy with it, and went both 1 and 2.
Gentlemen, I'm down here with Kaylee, the only other manager we haven't spoken to yet, and obviously we're going to wrap this up in a hot minute, but Kaylee Mack, you were tense there for a moment. Last time we spoke, you weren't quite sure if it was going to happen, and then I guess poop hit the fan.
Wow. Evan,
Well done.
jokes for
Literally,
days.
yeah. I'm still kind of on the fence here.
You actually physically are on the fence.
Literally, yeah. Just waiting here for my girl to go. I think she is still a little camera shy.
That wasn't Taco that made on 16?
That was Dave.
went twice.
Dave went twice.
Dave is a mess.
Dave's doubled up for safety. Wow.
I think the whole, getting naked thing first really was a good move by Dave and his handler.
Yeah, you know what? I did see there was some B-roll that Dan actually was in the pen without any clothes on with Dave, kind of just hanging in there with him. Dan,
That's the dark web.
Yeah.
We do have the footage.
But it's fair to say that Dan has also done naked weather reports, and I
true.
think that really helped him in strategizing to get everyone comfortable.
Gentlemen, this just in. We do have confirmation from the engineers. In fact, the first grid that was crapped on was Dave the Goat, and it was number 20. What's number 20?
Number 20 is Can Safe.
Can't save.
So are we going to do it now where we did say we had talked about perhaps didn't know how long this would take. It took an hour, and then within 2 minutes we had
A crap storm.
Well, I actually can't confirm when the next 2 grids hit, so does anybody have an idea?
The next two marks
BioClean
were
and Sabre.
16
Nope,
and 9.
9 and 10. And
9 and-
16 was third.
Oh, 16 was third. Sorry. That's all from
all one.
the first
That's
blow up,
all
but it's
one.
the first square.
So we need to determine between 9 and 10 who was, and then 16 obviously is a winner as well.
16's the hold up on that one.
Right. So what you're saying, you guys from the booth are calling an audible and saying we are not only going to give away a $1,000 radio campaign to CanSave, but we're also potentially going to give 2 more out. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Yeah, I think we should. I mean, obviously we've got such great support from the community, and it's our turn to maybe give back a little bit. We end up selling 5 more squares, so it's only fair to give out a bit more of a prize.
So we've got 9, 10, and 16. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, we have to determine
No,
between
we
9
have
and 10.
20.
So it's 20.
Varies between 9 and 10.
20 and 16 are confirmed. 9 and 10 is going to be a photo finish.
I do believe, if I photo finish here, just talking to the engineers as I got my invisible headpiece on, 20 was number 1.
Yes.
9 was number 2. 16 was number 3.
There it is.
That's-
So
there
9
it
is
is.
the winner.
So
So that's
number 9.
BioClean, which is apt because they're going to have to come in
Very
here. and
handy.
So
mop up.
round of applause, CanSafe, BioClean, and
Number
And
16
Original
is
Joe's.
Original Joe's.
Original Joe's.
Who has never served goat or goat poop.
Those are your 3 winners. We have tripled down. We cannot thank you enough for watching this live stream. A massive shout out to the LRHF, Malcolm for the Goat Wish 50/50, $915. Jennifer Gray is walking away. I don't know, Chubb, if you can spin this camera around and look at these beautiful faces over here. We got Jason Whiting, Vidir Images,
Good golly.
Maz
Wow.
Entertainment,
Hello.
Cody Maz. Could not do it without them. Obviously, the Goats, Dave, Taco, Dorito, Evan LaDouche over here, Chuba, and then last but not least, we'll give the final word to these 2 beauties up here. Round of applause for Donnie Blankenship and Shane Romano. Gentlemen, take us home.
Jennifer Gray, the winner. I hope she had the time of her life. I thank you very much. Dirty Dancing reference.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, but you got to pick it, buddy.
It's
You're
the
gonna
most
tee it
delicious.
up that high. You got to swing for the fences. Yeah, honestly, I had no clue how long we'd be up here, and a partner like Shane Tom. Wow.
Dorito just peed everywhere, so
here's the thing. You get
And then sneezed.
You get up here and you're just waiting for this to happen. You're on the edge of a knife up here, and having a guy like Shane Tomar calming. Oh wow, that just
it just keeps going.
Wow.
Wrap it up, boys. We're gonna
Original
be
Joe's doubled down.
Yeah, Joe's times 2. Anyway, having Shane Tomar, thank you so much for coming in and doing this with the Wish. Great, you're hilarious, you're entertaining. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Over to you.
I want to thank everybody at home. This has been a lifelong dream of mine.
Yes.
To a longtime fan of the Goat Poop circuit. Just excited that I got to be a part of this today at the Crap Palace here at the Lloyd X.
That's it, Evan. Sign us out.
Back to you, kid.
Take it away, Ev.
We will be here next year, same time. Get your grids ready because Goat Poo-ocalypse will return. This is the Goat. Thanks for watching.
So much poop. You guys, that was a really sharp broadcast.